and welcome to our virtual Food for Thought event today. We're going to talk about the Community Foundation of Broward's response to the coronavirus and its impact on the nonprofits in our community, which obviously has been incredible.
The Community Foundation of Broward never shut down, and we immediately sprang into action. We conducted over 100 phone calls with our fundholders. We also called over 100 nonprofits to check in, and we helped nonprofits secure $1.4 million from the CARES Act Payroll Protection Program. We released all of the grant restrictions that were under contract with us at that time. We allowed those dollars to be used flexibly to meet the needs of the community. And the third thing we did, which was really significant, is we provided over $5.4 million in emergency relief, and this was huge. We even got a grant from the Humana Foundation of $250,000 to amplify the grant making that we were doing. And so far, we've helped over 2,000 Broward residents get through this tough time. And we're still getting reports daily from the nonprofits, and those numbers are increasing in terms of who we're able to help. People are still struggling, and they're struggling with primarily financial need, and of course with paying their rent, their mortgage, etc., and food. The numbers of foreclosures and rent evictions that will be upon us is just staggering. As we look ahead, we will not just focus on the quick fixes. We will direct our energies towards systemic policy changes and practices in all areas that impact vulnerable communities suffering from the dual pandemic of COVID-19 and racial inequality across the many issues that we address, ranging from healthcare, education, housing, employment. We will unify our philanthropists and the residents to share responsibility to restore Broward County. We will uplift our community and our nonprofit sector, who's striving to survive out there with recognizing their notable efforts, and as well as infusing them with additional financial support.
We are so much more than just charities that help people. We really are part of the economic fabric of our community. And if nonprofits weren't there to be solving many of our economic issues, we would really be at a loss. As Sherry alluded to, we do know that the top requests for assistance are for rent and mortgage assistance, food insecurity is way up, and mental and behavioral health. We know that these were some of the top issues beforehand, but I think what COVID really uncovered was how many people are in need of assistance today that have never touched any of our systems before, that aren't familiar with 211, that don't know where to get help. And so outreach became really critical at a time where, ironically, your outreach was really limited.
There's been a real impact on our arts community. We have a special task force that's been meeting all summer and looking at how do we be bold and aggressive and ensure the sustainability of our arts organizations. One of our focuses and themes for our art community is going to be social injustice. In just a few minutes, you'll be automatically placed in one of the smaller groups for the issue-focused breakout rooms. So there's going to be 5 breakout rooms.
Really, the biggest concern for our seniors is the isolation factor, not just for the seniors themselves, but for the caregivers, finding new ways to incorporate the technology and really help these folks get through a difficult time without facing as few interruptions as possible.
And really the main thing moving forward is they want to keep their relationships building and growing. So we heard that food costs have skyrocketed. So the, outside of financial support, just relationships with food vendors and things like that.
And we talked about sort of the cascading effects that housing instability has right now, where people have lost jobs, they're not able to pay rent. Our youth work grant to them help these kids get employment. And many of them are still employed, and the families are actually now relying on their employment, but it's not enough, obviously, when the teenager is the breadwinner in the family.
And the big takeaways were really that the transition into remote work and still being able to serve residents and clients came at a huge expense for being able to keep the staff and the clients safe. Need to make sure that there is the dollars available to have all this personal protection equipment.
One of my takeaways today was that I think all of these nonprofits have expanded their role. They're all doing access to benefits, not only housing, but food and childcare and health services. So everyone's being asked to do much more. I think it is about how our community is going to wrap our arms around each other, and we're going to get through this together. There's no big federal grant that can come in and save us. We have to really figure out how we're going to lift each other up.